Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to week 2 of the Generational Wealth Management Extra Point Show with JB Graphics. I'm your host, JB Graphics, Jared Bakaisa, whatever you feel like calling me tonight. I'm all for it. You know, we're back here for week 2 recaps and stuff. I know we're kind of a little bit of a later start than what we did last week, but I think it's going to be more beneficial for everyone in the long run. I know this week I actually have the scores and stuff, and there's a lot more finals than last time, so we'll be able to run through those. But before we get started, we got to thank our sponsors that bring us this show. So tonight's show is being brought to you by Generational Wealth Management. John Bongiovanni, Lucas Slazak, and Adam Jack of Generational Wealth Management in Erie and Bradford are here for your investment needs. They offer world-class investment services and internationally recognized insurance products from Northwestern Mutual, an industry leader. Find out more at gwm.nm.com. I'd also like to thank our other sponsors, Pizza Hut of Clearfield, Clarion, Brookville, DuBois, St. Mary's, Grove City, Phillipsburg State College, Lock Haven, Bellefonte. No one out pizzas the Hut. And we'll also shout out our sponsor, Warren County Visitors Bureau, Pennsylvania's all-season destination. Warren County, simple, pure, real. So I did the ad reads. I'll play the videos that we got for them, and we will get into the show.
Whether retirement is just around the corner or years away, John Bongiovanni, Lucas Slazak, and Adam Jack of Generational Wealth Management in Erie and Bradford are here for you. John, a Forbes-recognized best-in-state wealth advisor, Lucas and Adam provide customized investment advisory solutions and retirement planning services. Generational Wealth Management offers world-class investment services and internationally recognized insurance products from Northwestern Mutual, an industry leader. The Generational Wealth Management team provides a high level of expertise and service to their professional and business clients. Contact the Erie office at 814-651-0838 or the Bradford office at 814-368-4065 or check them out online at gwm.nm.com.
What's the recipe for surprising the kids, treating yourself, and ditching dish duty? You're looking at it. Order your Pizza Hut faves like original pan, original stuffed crust, and more at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
And there you have it. But, oh, look who we got. We got Andy Close with us. What's going on, Andy? How are you doing?
Jared, not much. How you doing? I apologize. I'm good. How you doing? I'm sitting outside a country fair here in Fort LaBeouf where I watched the Bison fall to General McLean 18-7. But yeah, good ball game. Hope things are going well. And busy night across District 9, District 10.
Yeah, lots of good games. Andy, we actually had a couple games last night in the District 10 action. We had Cathedral Prep topping Clarkson North 22-17. Lakeview won 35-15 over Sagertown. Oil City had a 55-6 win over Corey, and Girard had a 31-14 victory over Northeast.
Yeah, a couple notes on that, Jared. Ethan Knox of Oil City, I don't know if you follow what he's been doing, but just phenomenal through the first two games. Tied an Oil City single game record with 7 touchdowns, with just over 400 yards on the ground in that win. Now through 2 weeks, he is over 700 yards rushing with 12 total touchdowns. Also had an interception in that win last night. So just, you want to talk about, I don't know if there's a back across the state that's off to a better start than Ethan Knox of Oil City. And then talking about that Cathedral Prep game, that Cathedral Prep team was down to Clarkson North 17-13 with 28 seconds left. Clarkson takes a safety deep in its own territory, kicks it back to Prep. Carter Barnes throws a touchdown pass to Sultan Lewis to give Prep just a wild wild win there late. So a couple of really wild games there on District 10 last night.
Yeah, it sounds like it, especially that game. And you said you were at the General McLean game, right?
I was. I'll tell you what. It was 18-7 at halftime, and 18-7, was the final score. Again, General McLean actually drove the length of the field on their opening drive, shoot over 8 minutes off the clock. Attempted a field goal that was actually blocked, so no touchdown for Fort LaBeouf there, and that ended up being a real momentum changer. General McLean kind of took control after that. Dylan Sheeter, a couple touchdown passes, a touchdown run. The defense, a couple of interceptions. It really held in check a really good Fort LaBeouf run game. Kyle Cousins, terrific on both sides of the ball for GM. Just a really, really impressive defensive effort from the Lancers.
Yeah, and I see that you actually got an interview with Kyle Cousins, so I'm going to play that for everyone here. So this is Kyle Cousins from General McLean.
First of all, how good does it feel to get that first win under your belt?
Good. Fort LaBeouf, we're crosstown rivals. We got kind of whooped last week. We were not satisfied. It feels good to come out here to see that hard work pay off, get that win.
What kind of adjustments did you guys make in practice this week after you said it left a bad taste in your mouth?
We didn't particularly change the offense we're running, the plays we're running. We just addressed effort, We're watching Slippery Rock film, and we just got kids not playing to the whistle. This week, we were determined to just play to the whistle, keep our blocks going, and effort. We wanted to improve our effort.
And you had a touchdown in this game. Take me through that play.
It was actually a broken play. It was quite exciting. I'm supposed to block for like a tunnel screen type thing, and it just kind of fell apart. And I just kind of wandered around and found an open spot. And she found me, and it felt good to make sure I caught that thing.
You in that position too, like you said, how important is it to stay alive for your quarterback there?
Yeah, you got to adjust. If you just give up, there's 11 people running right at your quarterback trying to take his head off. So if you're not out there trying to make his job a little easier, it's pretty. You're not going to score.
I want to talk about the defense too, because you guys were phenomenal defensively tonight. They get the one score, but that's it. How satisfying is that?
I'm never satisfied. I think they scored too many points. We got aligned. We run some intricate things on defense. We got Coach Bradford, Coach Lucas getting us organized. When we get aligned, we do well. But we got aligned tonight. We made some plays, a couple broken ones they scored. I'm not happy about it, but we got the win. So you got to be satisfied.
And I know you're never satisfied, but you taking the ball away a few times too, that's got to feel very good as a defense.
Oh, for sure. Offense, if you're not getting it done, going back on defense, you're giving your offense another chance. You know that they should be thanking you, and they do, and we appreciate it.
And just lastly, how do you carry the momentum from tonight over into next week?
Like I said, don't be satisfied. We can't go to practice Monday thinking, we're the best team around just because we won 18-7 or something. We got to continue to work. We got to improve our effort, even though we addressed it last week, that kind of thing.
All right. Well, hey, thanks and congrats.
Awesome. Yeah, he seems he's a really good interview person to get, so that sounded like he's excited for the win, and that sounds like a pretty good game you got to see tonight.
It really was, and he was Coach Marshall McCormick. That's his first win at General McLean. He called Kyle his Iron Man. Dylan Sheeter, their quarterback, actually had to go out for a couple plays on the second half, and even stepped in at quarterback. Went both ways the entire game. Just a really terrific effort by him and that entire General McLean team, really. And you heard Kyle talk about it, kind of a bad taste in their mouth after the loss to Slippery Rock last week, but a really, really nice bounce-back win for them against their rival and a good football team in LaBeouf.
Awesome, and it looks like we have Chris on deck. I assume he's ready. What's up, Chris?
Hey, guys, how are you? In the press box here at Port Allegany right now, where Central Clarion holds on. Actually, Riley's and then holds on to defeat Port Allegany 29-24 in a game that was every bit as good as that score represents. Port Allegany scores twice in the first 13 seconds or first 20 seconds of the second quarter to go up 16-0. The last one being a pick six from Nick Wilfong. It went right through Dawson Hotchkiss' hands into Wilfong's hands, the freshman, at the 44, took it 44 yards to the house, and it was 16-0 Port Allegany. And you're thinking, well, here we go. The Gators with high expectations are going to run Central Clarion out of the building. But the Wildcats came back, made it 16-7 on its next possession as touchdown pass from Jace Ferguson to Ashton Rex of 50 yards. Went into halftime at 16-7. At the end of the first half, Central Clarion had picked off a pass, like it was a Hail Mary into the end zone. Jace Ferguson brought it out, but there was a penalty on the play on Central Clarion that moved over to the second half. And so Port Allegany was kicking off from the Central Clarion 45-yard line to start the second half. Think maybe they'll go onside kick, something like that. Instead, they kick it deep. Hotchkiss takes it at it's either the 10 or the 5. He goes the distance for a touchdown to open the second half on a kickoff return, 95 yards, gets them back in the game at 16-14. They get a stop. He catches another touchdown pass, and all of a sudden, Central Clarion's in the lead. And then they score another touchdown, and before you know it, it's 29-16 in favor of the Wildcats. Port Allegany gets a touchdown early in the fourth quarter, makes it 29-24. About 2.5 minutes to play. They're at the Central Clarion 35, and that's when Brady Quinn comes up with an interception. Central Clarion's not able to run out the clock. One last gasp for Port Allegany. They start at their own 45-yard line without any timeouts. Tommy Smith comes up with an interception with about 20 seconds to go to seal the deal. But it was a heck of a football game between two great teams.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I actually was able to catch like the last minute of it, and I actually caught right at where you were talking about I don't think it was really a controversy, but you were talking about maybe they should have taken a safety or something. What kind of happened there at the end?
Well, I just felt like, and look, I get why you don't do it because you probably don't practice it. But up 29-24, Central Clarion's punting from like its own 35-yard line or so. Port Allegany doesn't have a kicking game. I mean, they went for 2 after every touchdown. So they're not kicking a field goal to tie the game if you take the safety. I just thought, take the safety, run another 10, 15 seconds off the clock. You have a good athlete in Ashton Rex back there. Take the safety. Then you get a free kick. So, no chance of a kick being blocked. Maybe your guys don't lose their lanes as easy as you might on a punt. But, I mean, in the end, it worked out. But it was just one of those things where I think I would have taken the safety.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Did you get a video that you could upload?
Yeah, you have Dawson Hotchkiss there, and you can play Dawson Hotchkiss there for you. He was our Allegheny Gorilla Foxburg player of the game. He just super second half for Dawson.
All right, yeah, I actually got it pulled up, so we'll play that real quick.
Yeah, we're here with Dawson Hotchkiss, our Allegheny Gorilla Foxburg player of the game. Dawson, you guys are down at halftime 16-7, and then you have that explosive kickoff return to start the second half. Talk about what you saw on that return.
Well, all I knew is I gave up a pick six, and I needed a rebound from that. And I got chewed out in the locker room, but I knew how to rebound from that.
And then you come up with a touchdown catch to give you guys the lead. What's the feeling like? I mean, you just talked about, the pick six goes through your arms, so you're at probably the lowest of lows, and then all of a sudden you're the highest of highs. Talk about that feeling.
Well, Jay said in the interview, I probably won't be able to catch till mid-October, and I had to prove him wrong.
Talk a little bit about being able to not get down when you guys were down 16-0. Just talk a little bit about that.
Coaches came up to me. He's like, you got it in your heart. And I just trusted him, and I just came out and showed him.
What does this mean to this team to come up here and beat a really, really good Port Allegany team like this?
It means a lot. There's going to be a lot more, too.
Yeah, it sounds like a very confident Dawson right there, and especially on the road trip. How far away is Central Clarion from Port Allegany? What's that trip like?
My school bus probably about 2 hours. So it's going to be a fun 2-hour ride back. Dawson told me before we did the interview he needed a nap, and I reminded him he had a 2-hour bus ride that he could get a nap on. So, well, guys, speaking of drives, I got an hour and 45 minutes back home, so I'm going to get out of here and. Hopefully Andy there can maybe help line up some interviews for you there, Jared. Or I know you have Chris Bunk in the waiting there from Eisenhower. So maybe Brian will be able to help you too on that. But I'll leave it to you guys.
All right, hey, safe travels, Chris.
Safe travel.
Enjoy the back roads of northern Pennsylvania.
See you guys.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as Chris was saying, we got Chris Bunk from Eisenhower on, and let's add him to the stream. Hey, what's going on?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Heard you had a big 27-14 win tonight.
Yeah, it was a good win. Definitely some things you can tune up as a team, but it was a good win.
Yeah, I heard Brian texted me saying your team had over 300 rushing yards as a team.
Yeah, our running backs really put in the work tonight, and the O-line opened up big holes for them just to let them do the work.
Yeah, and I think even on defense, you kind of held their running game in check. He was saying so. Like, talk about your defense tonight.
Yeah, our run game defense it was outstanding. I don't think we put them over double digits, maybe really low double digits if they had any, but we definitely need to work on our pass defense. That's what really killed them, and that's what got them yards there. But our run defense was really good tonight.
Yeah, the defense this season's been pretty good. You had a big win last week, and then this week, you got all this momentum rolling up. So, like, moving forward too, what's that kind of say about your team starting the season off 2-0?
We're striving for our goal, the D10 championship, and this is what builds us to really keep going at it and keep motivating us to do it.
Yeah, Andy, do you have any questions for Chris?
Yeah, Chris, how much fun was it to get back out on the home field for the first time this season?
It was great. The fans showed up, the pig pen, our student section showed out tonight. It was a great experience all over.
Yeah, that's awesome. But thanks for joining on our generational wealth management extra point show. I know I had one of your teammates last week, and you guys keep winning. We might get like the whole team on here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, good luck. Good luck the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll see one of your teammates next week.
Awesome. Thank you guys for keep doing what you guys do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Good luck.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Chris Bunk from Eisenhower. Eisenhower's putting together a little good start to the season so far.
Yeah, Jared, I know, knowing that program as I do, expectations are very high there. They scrimmaged Reynolds before the start of the season. Those two teams have met in the playoffs the past 2 years, and there was kind of a mutual understanding between the coaches after Josh Mull from Reynolds and Jim Penley from Eisenhower that, hey, we may see you again maybe for a district championship. Obviously, a long way to go to get to that point, but Eisenhower impressive through 2 weeks. Reynolds a 47-0 winner over Mercer tonight. Again, Jalen Wagner, another big game, one of the premier backs in District 10. But it's early in the season, but those two teams potentially could be on a collision course.
Oh, that sounds pretty good, but we're I didn't even realize this. We're 20 minutes into the show, and we kind of even haven't ran over some of the scores that we had from today. I know we did Thursday scores, then kind of got sidetracked a little bit, but I'm going to play some of our ads real quick, and then I'm going to do a quick score rundown on our D9 and D10 schools.
Whether retirement is just around the corner or years away, John Bongiovanni, Lucas Slazak, and Adam Jack of Generational Wealth Management in Erie and Bradford are here for you. John, a Forbes-recognized best-in-state wealth advisor, Lucas and Adam provide customized investment advisory solutions and retirement planning services. Generational Wealth Management offers world-class investment services and internationally recognized insurance products from Northwestern Mutual, an industry leader. The Generational Wealth Management team provides a high level of expertise and service to their professional and business clients. Contact the Erie office at 814-651-0838 or the Bradford office at 814-368-4065 or check them out online at gwm.nm.com.
What's the recipe for surprising the kids, treating yourself, and ditching dish duty? You're looking at it. Order your Pizza Hut faves like original pan, original stuffed crust, and more at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
All right, we're back. Those were our big sponsors we have: Generational Wealth Management, Pizza Hut of Clarion, Brookville, DuBois, and our Warren County Visitors Bureau. So thank you to our sponsors who helped bring the show to us. And without further ado, we'll talk a little about our scores. So we'll go to D9, District 9 first. We have everything that's final right now. Kerwinsville, 36-15 win over Juniata Valley. Elk County Catholic, 15, Montauk 6. Punxsutawney, 37, Kane, 16. Red Bank Valley, 25, Karn City, 15. Keystone, 43, Union AC Valley, 7. St. Mary's, 27, Ridgeway, 6. Coudersport, 38, Bradford, 27. DuBois, 27, Brockway, 26. Tyrone, 30, Brookville, 0. Smethport, 22, Cameron County, 6. Chris said earlier, Central Clarion, 29. Port Allegheny, 24. And Clearfield with a 7-3 win over Bald Eagle, and Coach Tim Janoko earned his 300th career win as a coach.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Janoko. That's awesome. 7-3, man. I like that. That's old school football.
Yeah, I actually that was another game I was kind of listening into. I had like 3 games. I had a game listening to a game on my phone. I had Chris's game pulled up there, and it sounds like they made a really big stand there at the end. They actually had to bring the measuring sticks out on 4th down because I guess it was super close, and that kind of like sealed the game there for him.
I'm sure he wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, that's a great way to win. But were there any games in particular that kind of stood out to you here in District 9?
Yeah, I think the 2 kind of big games I had circled coming into the week were, again, the game we just talked about, the Central Clarion Port Allegheny game, and then our Red Bank Valley beating Karn City. Boy, I can't remember the last time Karn City was 0-2, and they've lost to 2 good teams in DuBois and now Red Bank Valley. But that's not a position the Gremlins are used to being in. And on the flip side, Red Bank Valley, again, of course, the state runner-up last year, lost the opening week to Keystone last year. You think that was a point of emphasis in the offseason? Coach Blaine Gold's group off to a 2-0 start. That's awesome to see.
Yeah, definitely. That game that sounds like it doesn't sound like Karn City because I'm used to them always like winning there, and like that's the same with like Ridgeway. Both of those teams have dropped their first 2 games. I'm kind of surprised that that's the shaking out for those 2 because you usually think like, oh, Ridgeway, Karn City, that's one of the top 2, one of the better 2 programs in AA, and even like Brookville too's going 0-2 with their loss to Tyrone. Like, so there's some little bit of surprises that I see in like the 2A class.
Yeah, and again, and knowing those teams and those programs, my guess is they'll be okay and bounce back. But again, to your point, just unfamiliar territory for them, and I'm very curious to see how they react. Like I said, I think they'll bounce back, but again, 0-2. I mean, that's again, unfamiliar territory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess we should also shout out DuBois also with their 27-26 win. That sounds like that was probably a pretty good game for anyone who was at that game or got to see that.
Yeah, Beavers 2-0 start. Again, a program that maybe on the rise here. A couple of impressive wins to start the season for DuBois.
Yeah, definitely good. Yeah, good start for those guys. I mean, I'll even shout out my alma mater, Kerwinsville, with a 36-15 win over Juniata Valley. Like, we haven't had a 2-0 start in a couple seasons now, so I'm glad to see that they're on a good roll right now, and especially like it looks like kind of like a statement win for them, like 36-15. Like I saw it was close, I think 8-8 at first quarter or halftime or something I saw, so that's pretty good. They must be a really good second half team from like the looks of the scores the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and again, that's a quality Juniata Valley team they beat, a team that's coming off a very strong 2021 campaign. So, yeah, again, props to your alma mater. Fared better than my alma mater tonight over at Warren, but hopefully, speaking of teams off to 0-2 starts, but yeah, 2-0, great for the Golden Tide.
Mm-hmm. And we can even mention like Elk County Catholic and Montauk 15-6 type of game. That sounds like it must have been a pretty back and forth close game there.
Back and forth again, defense, old school. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like seeing points. I like teams throwing it all around the yard. But there's something about 15-6. I mean, that just sounds like a good football game.
Yeah, and we actually got a couple of those. We had a 15-6 game. We had a 22-6, 7-3 game. Like, there's definitely some close games that definitely emphasize defense. But while we're in the District 9 category, we do actually have a Red Bank player on deck, and we have Drew Byers. What's going on, Drew?
Not much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Another big win for the Bulldogs. I mean, I don't think you guys even know what losing is anymore, it seems like. Starting the season off 2-0 against a quality Karn City team. And this was kind of a game that I think a few people had circled on their calendars. You have the defending 1A champions and the defending 2A champions in a game. So what was that game like?
It was a big deal. We've been excited for it all week. Personally, I've been excited for it ever since the schedule came out because, they're a pretty storied team. But yeah, it was just a neat experience.
Yeah, and starting the season off 2-0, I think you guys are on a lot better start than last season. I know everyone talks about the week 1 loss against Keystone that kind of like changed the whole complexity of your guys' like season last year, and then this season you guys are kind of making a statement like, hey, we're not losing this year. How big is that for team confidence, knowing that, hey, we're 2-0 right now?
It's big for team confidence, definitely, but we're not looking too far ahead. We're just looking to go 1-0 every week, take it week by week.
Yeah, that's a great mindset to have. But do you want to talk a little bit about the game? Like, what kind of what was going on throughout the game? I saw it was 25-15. I didn't really get to see what it was at halftime or anything, but like, how'd the game kind of shake out?
I mean, it was definitely one of the closer games I've been a part of, but it was a big defensive battle on our part. Shout out to the defense. Karn City has a pretty good run game, and we were able to contain them. But they had the ball for a majority of the game, and that's probably what their mindset was, just keep the ball away from us. And they did a good job at it, but in the end, our defense just made some big plays, and we were able to get the win.
That's awesome. That's awesome for you guys. And I see you guys got to wear your smoky gray jerseys tonight. I don't know if that's what you call them, but it's probably one of my favorite jerseys in District 9. Or, I mean, even your home, like the ones you had last week were really good.
Yeah, I definitely like the grays. They're probably my favorite jerseys. I like to not wear them a lot because I feel like it's just the concept, like that it's an alternate jersey. It kind of makes it more special if we only wear them like maybe 2 or 3 times a season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe that's how alternate jersey should be. I mean, that's why the NFL has like a rule where I think they only allow 3 times to wear their alternate jerseys. And yeah, that's awesome that you guys got to wear that. I thought that I remember seeing it last year in your district championship game. I'm like, wow, these are clean. Like that's awesome. Like, you don't really see many teams in high school that has alternate jerseys.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not week.
I believe Punxsy. I'm pretty sure.
Punxsy, that's a really good. You guys got a good first 3 weeks. Punxsy's actually on a little bit of a roll too. They won their game against Kane today, so that's kind of like your guys are New Bethlehem's kind of close to Punxsy, isn't it? I think we lost. Nope, he's back. Can you hear us?
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi was bugging out a little bit.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I was asking us. New Bethlehem's kind of close to Punxsy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
in a way.
Not too bad.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a little rivalry game you got. It's in Punxsy, right?
Yes, it's in Punxsy.
Okay, so you guys got a little road trip for you. What's the mindset going to be like that, knowing that you kind of got a little bit of a road trip, first away game of the year? What's your thoughts on that? I think we lost Drew again. His Wi-Fi must not be that good. Oh, he's back now. Can you hear us? Drew?
I lost Drew.
It looks like he's trying to figure. Oh, we lost him. Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully, he gets that figured out. We have Brian on deck. He's been kind of waiting it out, so we'll just add him while Drew figures it out. What's going on?
Hey guys, how we doing?
Good. How you
Pretty
doing?
good.
Not bad, not bad. Had a pretty entertaining game up at the Pasture of Pain tonight at Eisenhower, and Knights come away 27-14 win over Cambridge Springs.
Awesome. Oh, it looks like we got Drew back. Sorry, Brian.
Oh no, you're good.
Sorry.
What's going on?
Not much.
You're good. You're all good. Figured out to an extent.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. The question I was going to ask is, you guys have gotten spoiled with two home games in a row to start the season, and you're going on the road next week. So, like, what kind of mindset do you guys have with an away game now compared to being in your backyard?
Pretty much the same mindset. Just go play good football, and it's definitely not the same playing at home. But we're gonna do the best we can and play.
Mm-hmm. And with the win you had today, what kind of who kind of like stood out today for your team?
Definitely our entire defense. Maybe Kale in specific, he had a nice pick six, and he also had a receiving touchdown. So I'd probably say him and the defense.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, what was Coach Gould saying after the game about the big another win for you guys?
He was pretty excited, but in the end, I just think that in his mind, it's all over, and we're just going to move on to next week.
All right. Well, it sounds like you guys have an awesome mindset as a team and as a program itself. So good luck moving forward for you guys, and hopefully we can have you guys on more this season. This is the second week we've had a Red Bank player on. I know we've had some Eisenhower players on twice. Hopefully it might be a regular thing for you guys.
Yeah, hopefully.
But hey, thanks for joining the Generational Wealth Management post-game show, and good luck to you and your teammates the rest of the season, and hope to see one of you guys next week.
Yep, thank you.
Yep, no problem. See you, bud.
Yep.
All right, looks like Brian's on the phone, so we'll kind of wait for him to get off there. But that was Drew Byers from Red Bank Valley, as they, as we were talked about a little bit earlier, 2-0, and they're kind of picking up right where they left off last season.
Yeah, and that program, it's just, to your point, the program that's rolling, and that's a good win, as we talked about, against a very quality Karn City program, as Drew alluded to. So be interested to see if they can keep it going against Punxsutawney next week.
Yeah, definitely.
And no, I know we haven't got to those District 10 scores yet. Did you want to get to those?
Yes, I was literally just about to bring that up. I'm like, all right, we got to get half an hour in, and we've only got one district of scores in, but we'll go District 10. We had Eisenhower 27, Cambridge Springs 14, Union City with a 26-20 win over Kennedy Catholic, Maplewood 40, Iroquois 20, Reynolds 47, Mercer 0, Slippery Rock 38, Mercyhurst Prep 24, Grove City with a 42-7 win over Northwestern, Seneca 34, Connett. Is it Connett? Have I been pronouncing it? Connet? Connet? Okay.
Connet, yep.
Connet 6, Wilmington 14, Greenville 7, Hickory with a 62-3 victory over Franklin. Sharon had a 42-0 win over Warren. Sharpsville 40, Titusville 14, Meadville 21, Butler 14, Fairview 34, Harbor Creek 15. The game that you were at, General McLean 18, Fort LaBeouf 7, St. Joseph's, New York 30, Erie 7, and an overtime game we had McDowell with a 34-28 win over Bennett, New York.
Yeah, boy, McDowell, 2 exciting wins there to start. And just as I'm just kind of looking through my notes here, Jared, and Fairview 2. I want to touch on Meadville too. Meadville's got that was a game that they lost to Butler last year. One of 4 losses for them, and they actually went on to the state quarterfinals. That was a regular season loss. Butler, being excuse me, 6A and Meadville 4A. That Meadville team is loaded. Kalon Simmons, Brady Walker. The offensive line is really vaunted. It's a typical I don't want to say typical Meadville team because they're very, very good, but just a big, powerful offensive line, great backs, and what you're used to seeing from really, really good Meadville teams. So that's one of the games that stood out to me here tonight in District 10.
Yeah, and have you heard anything about the McDowell Bennett overtime game? Have you heard anything on that stat wise or how that game was going?
I have not. I'm trying to get in touch with Coach Orlando there at McDowell. We'll see if we hear back from them. But that's 2 weeks in a row, just really exciting games for the Trojans. Really, Artis Simmons, our player, Jim Kelly, District 10 Player of the Week in Week 1, in a win over Walsh Jesuit. And again, he talked to me before the season about how challenging their first 3 games were. And through 2 weeks, I have to imagine they couldn't be any happier there at McDowell. Just getting off to a wonderful start, beating 2 very, very good teams.
Yeah, that's definitely good for them. And, overtime games are kind of rare. It seems like I haven't really seen, I always check the scores every week and it's always just finals or, the overtimes are, kind of, I don't know. I haven't really seen that many overtime games in District 9 or 10 lately.
Yeah, I have a feeling those will be coming down the road, but I know for coaches, they're exhilarating, and players, obviously, exhilarating if you win, heartbreaking if you lose. But yeah, to your point, we've had some good games, competitive games, certainly games noteworthy worth talking about. But even through 2 weeks, you can kind of start to see a little bit of separation in both districts.
Yeah, definitely 100%. And hopefully we can get someone from McDowell on the show or someone like in the future. But are there any other games that kind of stood out to you? Slippery Rock Mercyhurst Prep was kind of a close game.
Yep, that was a close game. That one didn't surprise me too much. Again, looking through my notes here, Grove City. I want to touch on Grove City. They really had a tough Week 1 loss to Avonworth out of the Whitfield. The defending D10 3A champions kind of struggled again against a very good team, but coming back against a quality Northwestern team, handing them their first regular season loss in 2 years. Northwestern was unbeaten in the regular season a year ago before falling to Wilmington in the 2A semifinals over there in District 10. So that's a really good and a really convincing bounce back win, I should say, for Grove City. So that one stood out to me as well.
Okay. What else was there? There was how about Union City Kennedy Catholic 26-20?
Yeah, and again, good win there for Union City. Again, 2 teams kind of that have struggled in recent years. Good to see a good competitive football game. And Union City did not win a game actually a year ago. I'd have to go back and see how long that losing streak was, but you got to feel good for those kids in that program because that's not an easy thing. Speaking as a former high school player, I was on good teams, I was on bad teams, teams that struggle, I should say. And that's never easy. So good for them. That's incredibly satisfying, and hopefully more good things to come there for the Bears.
Mm-hmm. And we were talking about kind of like old school football there. We did have a 14-7 game between Wilmington and Greenville, with Wilmington coming up on top out of that game.
Yeah, and again, Wilmington trailed 7-0 at the half in that game, and that was the first. Oh, I forget what the stat was, but it had been a while since Wilmington had lost an opener. And if you know anything about that Wilmington program, they're very, very good, very, very proud. Head coach Brandon Fillion, just an absolute class act. One of my favorite coaches there, in District 10, and that was a real gut check for them. Trailing against Greenville, and that. If I may, for just a second, that region 3 in District 10 is just an absolute gauntlet. You talk about those 2 schools. You're talking about a Farrell, Grove City, Hickory, Sharpsville, just absolutely. I was talking with Brandon before the season, and I said, this. I know there's a lot of good football in Western Pennsylvania, but I think you'd be hard pressed to find a tougher conference. And he even went a step further and said, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a tougher conference or region in the state. And it really is week in, week out. There are no easy games there.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that. I think Brian. Hopefully, Brian's good. I think he's off the phone. I'm gonna try to add him back on. What's going on?
There he is.
Brian, you good? Maybe it wasn't good.
I think he's muted. I think he has to turn his mic on there.
Oh, or you're still on the phone. One of the two situations. Yeah, he might still be on the phone. Yeah, I'll quickly play our ads again, real quick, and then maybe he'll be. Oh, I guess he wasn't good. So I'll play our sponsor ads real quick, and we'll continue on with the show.
Whether retirement is just around the corner or years away, John Bongiovanni, Lucas Slazak, and Adam Jack of Generational Wealth Management in Erie and Bradford are here for you. John, a Forbes-recognized best-in-state wealth advisor, Lucas and Adam provide customized investment advisory solutions and retirement planning services. Generational Wealth Management offers world-class investment services and internationally recognized insurance products from Northwestern Mutual, an industry leader. The Generational Wealth Management team provides a high level of expertise and service to their professional and business clients. Contact the Erie office at 814-651-0838 or the Bradford office at 814-368-4065 or check them out online at gwm.nm.com.
What's the recipe for surprising the kids, treating yourself, and ditching dish duty? You're looking at it. Order your Pizza Hut faves like original pan, original stuffed crust, and more at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
All right, those are our three main sponsors we got with us: Generational Wealth Management, Pizza Hut of Clarion, Brookville, DuBois, St. Mary's, Grove City, Phillipsburg, State College, Lock Haven, Bellefonte. No one out pizzas the Hut, and Warren County Visitors Bureau, Pennsylvania's all-season destination. Warren County, simple, pure, real. So, yeah.
All right,
we do have. Oh, go ahead.
Yep, no, go ahead, Jared. You're good.
Oh, I was going to say, we do have some Saturday games actually coming to us tomorrow. We have Otto Eldred at Sheffield at 1:30 p.m., and then we have Ursuline, Ohio at Farrell at 7.
Yep, and just to touch briefly on those two games, if I may. Otto Eldred coming off a season opening win over Elk County Catholic, 35-30. Sheffield coming off a season opening loss to Bucktail, 42-12. And Jared, and for anyone listening out there, if you haven't seen a game at Sheffield, I highly recommend doing so. Just it sits on top of the mountain there. They call it Wolverine Mountain, and it's truly one of the more unique, one of the best views in either District 9 or District 10. It's kind of overlooking everything there in the heart of the Allegheny, National Forest. Just a beautiful, beautiful place to watch a football game. Rich for Friday and moved to Saturday. I think that was one of the official shortage. I think is why that game got moved. But Farrell going to be christening their new turf field there. I know they're going to have some pregame festivities going on there at 6:30 with the game starting at 7. And if you get a chance to watch that one or go to that one, I highly recommend doing so. Having the opportunity to talk to the Farrell kids before the season started, very confident group. State semifinalists last year before falling to Sarah Catholic, and they will have a stiff test tomorrow because that Ursuline, again, just a powerhouse out there, in Youngstown. They produce, every year they're producing kids that go on to play at the next level, and Farrell does too. Obviously, one of the premier programs in District 10. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. That should be a whale of a ball game.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a super Saturday indeed for us. And I've been to Sheffield a couple times. We actually played. Sheffield usually came down to us, but we did scrimmage at Sheffield, so I definitely know what the hike up to the field is like and the views that it provides for us. And honestly, a lot of those schools up north have really good views if you're watching the game. I know Smethport has an awesome scenery to see the mountains. Sheffield's one of those. Even Cameron County, I always thought that was kind of cool because it's like you're right beside the mountains and it's right there. It's kind of intimidating. You're like, oh, this is kind of cool. But yeah, there's definitely, if you're one of our North followers, any of the District 9 North teams like Cameron County, Smethport, Sheffield, like definitely have a lot of great scenic facilities for you to check out. And speaking of District 9 real quick, I do have Red Bank. I know that we got another Red Bank player. We got Ashton Kale with us, so I'm going to bring him onto the stream.
And Jared, I'm gonna sign off. I think they might be about ready to kick me out here at the Country Fair. But I'm gonna try and get that. I'm gonna try and get Tim Janoko from Clearfield to get on. So we'll try and get Tim.
Awesome, thank you. All right. With that being said, I will add in Ashton. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
I just talked to your buddy Drew a couple of minutes ago and said hopefully we get some guys on the show like next week. And then Coach Gold just messaged me about try to get you on. I heard you had a pretty good game. You had 2 scores tonight and a big time pick 6 tonight.
Thank you.
But talk a little bit about the game. Drew kind of gave me a miniature rundown. But what was going on tonight between you and Karn City?
Well, it was a big game. Both teams played excellent. Just nice football, ran the ball well. We adjusted to some things that they were doing. We were able to put the ball in the end zone, get the ball in our athletes, and we were able to just, take over and, do us.
Yeah, and, he said you got a pick 6. How big was this pick 6 that you got?
I feel like it was really a game changer. It really set our team up, gave us momentum going in farther into the game, and I feel like it was a big game changer.
And I asked Drew also, and I know the mindset that you guys have, but like, how big is it to kind of start the season off 2-0 with all the momentum going into next week?
It's really big. 2-0 off to a great start, playing 2 really good teams. It's a great feeling to do that, and all it does at this point is set a target on our backs and know that we're the team and everyone's going to be coming for us. And, we stay on our grind, do us, our goal is to go 1-0 every week. That's all we say. We don't worry about future games. We're just focused on the team we play that week. And if we just do that, I feel like we're in for a really good season.
Yep, you guys definitely have a great thing going down in Red Bank. So I'm happy to see the success that you guys have all had and what Coach Gold has kind of built with you guys, and this is definitely a good season for you guys. And I talked to Cam Wagner a couple weeks on my JB Graphics download show, and he was saying how like this year's senior class is 8-3 in the playoffs, which is essentially basically like another season. And you guys have had there's a lot of experience on this team, and I think that's really showing it the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, thanks for joining our Generational Wealth Management post-game show. Like I said, Drew, I hope to see some more of you guys on throughout the season, and good luck against Punxsutawney next week.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me. See ya.
Yep. No problem. All right. That was Ashton Kale from Red Bank Valley. We're got 2 Bulldogs on with us tonight on the show, and we actually have Brian's ready to join back in. What's going on? You're muted.
Okay.
Now you're good.
I should be unmuted now.
Yeah.
One of these days we'll get this figured out, Jed. I swear we will.
No. Oh, it's all right. I mean, wait, what kind of show is it without any technical difficulties, right?
Right.
Yes. What game did you make it to any games tonight?
So I had the call on the Eisenhower Cambridge Springs game. Pretty entertaining ball game. Knights racked up over 300 rushing yards as a team, and the defense really stepped up against a Cambridge Springs team that had run all over Kennedy Catholic last week. I don't have the final stats right in front of me, but I know Cody Elms, my broadcast partner, said they were well under 50 yards rushing as a team for the game. The Blue Devils were able to get something going in the passing game late in the game. Tried to mount a comeback. Had some entertaining, really entertaining aspects in that game. You know, Cambridge Springs threatened a couple of times. In fact, took advantage of a muff punt, had a 1st and goal from the 9. And Eisenhower's Benji Bauer came up with a sliding interception at the 1 yard line. Nice turnaround and march 99 yards for what would eventually be their final score of the game. So just a real big momentum shift there from the senior for Eisenhower, who also ended up rushing for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. They had a big sack that set up on a 3rd down, set up a block punt on 4th down, which essentially ended the game. So big night for Benji Bauer. Ended up being our Jim Kelly Player of the Game, powered by Allegheny Grill Foxburg.
Awesome. Yeah, Eisenhower's really putting together a good start to their season. I talked to Andy about the District 10 scores. Was there any other games that kind of stood out to you this week?
I'm looking through the scores right now. I think that Slippery Rock Mercyhurst Prep game, a good early season test for the Rockets. They come out on top. It's nice to see Seneca starting to put some wins together. They get a big win over Conneaut. Meadville getting a 1-score win over Butler. That's got to give the Bulldogs just a ton of confidence, in a season where people are expecting big things from them, as well they should. This is a really talented Meadville team, and again, provided they can stay healthy, has a chance to make a lot of noise, not just in District 10, but beyond as well.
And what about, was there any D9 games that kind of stood out to you also?
So I was actually just talking to our partner, Chris Rossetti. He was up at Port Allegheny for that game. It sounds like that was a really good ball game between Port Allegheny and Central Clarion, kind of back and forth. He said it was one of the most entertaining regular season, or one of the best regular season games that he's had the chance to cover in a long time. I think kind of a big win too for Elk County, picking up a second win here early in the season. Just after kind of struggling a bit last year.
Mm-hmm. And me and Andy also touched. We saw some kind of old school football defensive games. In District 9, we had that Elk County 15-6 game, Clearfield 7-3 game. What kind of football games do you like seeing? Do you like seeing those kind of high scoring type of games, like a Coudersport 38, Bradford 27 type games, or do you like seeing those Clearfield 7, Bald Eagle 3 type of games?
I'm kind of more in the middle. A game like I had tonight, a 27-14, or what Chris had, where it's like a 29-24. I'm okay with that. Where you need 3 or 4 scores to win it, but it's not, you're sitting there mercy ruling somebody or something like that. Again, this was the game I had tonight. It was 27-14, so it looks, a lot of offense, but some really good defense being played at the same time.
Yeah, I definitely would agree on that. No one really likes blowout games unless you're the winning team.
Right.
I did get to see I'd watched the last minute of the Central Clarion Port game actually, and that definitely looked like a pretty good game, and whoever was at that game definitely got their money's worth for it. And what Chris described it, that was really, it sounds like a good football game from start to finish. And Port Allegheny is kind of, I think that might be a good, one of those good losses that you have in the season.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have you have a lead, you kind of let that lead go, and then Port Allegheny could kind of use this as a learning experience. And moving forward, I think they might be a team to watch when it comes playoff time.
Yeah, I know. Talking with them during the preseason. They're definitely a team that has a high expectations for this season, as well they should. But like you said, a tough loss like this, against a decent Central Clarion team can really teach you a lot. And I was talking to Eisenhower coach Jim Penley after their game, and it's a 2-score win for them. But there were some fumble issues. They had some trouble on some punt return things, and he said this is one of those early season wins that he likes to have, because you get the win, but it's not satisfying. The players are left kind of wanting more. You've got a lot that you can look back on in your film study that you can go back and say, hey, yeah, we got the win, but there's some areas that we can still clean up and a lot to work on. And it keeps the players hungry to get better as the season's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely have to agree on that. I feel like we're still in, those preseason jitters type of deals. Like some teams are on the road for the first time this year, compared to last week where they might have started off at home, or, kind of vice versa, so like getting the wins is good, but it's also good to kind of have all these special teams errors, or like just like lineup errors, or like any types of like little things that you said that can be cleaned up moving forward. I definitely think it benefits the team and the players and the confidence level all around if you can get the win, but also have a lot of things to look at to kind of fix throughout the season that will help long term in the season.
Yeah, and like I said, I think a lot of coaches would echo what Coach Penley told me after the game. Just wanting that you want to get those wins early in the season, but you want to get them in such a way that you don't go into a film room on Monday and people are just kind of like, we wrapped everything up and our game was perfect and we don't really need to pay attention. And those are the kind of things that sometimes it can lead to a letdown the next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like kind of like not to bring anything up, but like Hickory 62, Franklin 3. I mean, you have a win like that. They're like, how much like can you actually learn from that type of game? Like that's an awesome win for the Hickory team, and probably good for Franklin to learn a lot from that too. But like, you get those closer type of games, you can definitely get a lot of the learning points, like even like with the Central Clarion Port game, like there's definitely a lot of situational things that you can look at and maybe explore for future games in the season. And definitely a lot, like that's the big picture I think we all like to see as fans, even players and coaches, just seeing different situational things that you can fix moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is, and especially for a lot of these teams, when you're at the high school and even the college level at times, from year to year, you're getting a lot of turnover. And, these early season games, especially, when you've got a close win or it wasn't, not exactly the cleanest victory, in terms of turnovers or, some missed blocking assignments or whatever. Those are the kind of things that can really benefit those younger players who are just getting a taste of varsity action for the first time, or being put in a starting position for the first time, that they can really take away from, when you sit down on Monday in the film sessions and really break it down.
Yeah, and definitely like, you clean up all those turnovers and stuff moving forward. I think that'll help those teams that are winning the game still, but also have those turnover issues. I think getting them all out of the way early in the season will be better for them, because they're like, all right, I need to hold on to the ball a little better. I need to focus more on my blocking assignments, so like that's just going to make those teams stronger, and we're going to see who these teams really are going to be in like the next couple weeks here, since we're already on week 2 and moving into week 3 already next week.
Yeah, it's hard to believe we're already going to be into the second week of September, and but we're not going to get out of September until after week 6, I think, is what we're looking at the schedule. So
it'll
be a long September.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that. Football in September, and got a good week of football we had this week. We'll move to some D10 games also. Were there some? I know I asked you that, but were there any other games in D10 that you saw that?
Just taking a look at the finals again. I think another solid win for McDowell over an out-of-state team, Bennett, New York, in overtime, no less. Again, that's one of those games that we talked about. There's probably going to be a lot on film there that the Trojans can take away and learn from going into next week. Fairview, a big win over Harbor Creek. I think that's an important confidence building win for the Tigers. Again, another team that has pretty high expectations coming into the season. That's a big rivalry game for them, and come away with a multi-score victory over Harbor Creek, I think will boost the Tigers' confidence going forward, and really set them up for success as the season goes on.
Yep, well, we got a big guest on right now, actually, Brian.
Oh, yes, we do. I will step aside as soon as he's ready to go. You just let me know, and
all right,
I will step aside.
I think it looks like he's good, so we're going to add him on. Coach Janoko.
Yes.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. I'm on the bus right now on the way home from Bald Eagle.
Awesome. Big win, I heard. I actually got to catch the end of your game. I listened to it, and it sounds like it was a great way to end the game for your defense.
It was very emotional. Great win. Our kids just played their guts out. I'm so proud of them. They played a great team on the road again, and they did a great job.
Yeah, well, obviously got to congratulate you. Congrats on 300 career wins. You've definitely been able to coach a lot of great football teams in Clearfield to get you to where you're at.
I've been very blessed with a lot of great players and a lot of great assistant coaches. I've just been very blessed with everything. It's been a great ride.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we were able to get you on the show tonight, because this is probably one of the bigger storylines in the district tonight, and getting the first win of the season also with kind of a younger group. I know you lost a lot of big name seniors last season, and kind of hitting a little bit of a refresh button with a lot of the skill kids and players. But how big is that to get the first win on the season and on the road too?
It's very, very big, because now we have something to build on. We played well last week, but we couldn't pull it out against a really good football team on the road. And but our kids just continue to work hard, and they're grinders, and that's what we do here at Clearfield. And we grind it out, and just really happy for them. Bald Eagle's a very talented team. Talent-wise, they have as much talent as anybody in our league. So to come on the road and pull out a victory in this fashion is really, really something we can build on for the rest of the season.
How big is it, kind of like a confidence booster for this younger team also? They got the big 300th win. I'm sure they all were super excited to get for you tonight. And then, just like you said, just beating a really good Bald Eagle team. What's that say about the kids moving forward?
Oh, yeah, we have a lot of that are, we don't have one skilled person really. That I think our tight end's a senior, yeah. But everybody else is either a sophomore or junior, or skill people. So for those kids to get a win, on the road, that's against a quality opponent. That's something that they can, their confidence can take off. So we're happy with it. I mean, it's just really a very emotional time. My whole family was there tonight. My son was able to fly in from Chicago, and it was a very, very emotional night. So I just thank God for everything.
Well, hey, thanks for joining our Generational Wealth Management show. I think you were the one big guest that we kind of wanted to get on tonight, but I just wanted to congratulate you on 300 career wins. That definitely says a lot of how good of a coaching job you've done throughout the years with everyone, and glad you got that tonight.
I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the work you guys do in promoting high school football. You guys do a great job, and it's very appreciative. So thanks for everything.
Yep, thanks for joining us, Coach.
Okay.
All right, Brian, that was our 300-win Coach Janoko that joined the show for us.
Just an amazing accomplishment. 300 wins, especially at the high school football level. It's just an incredible accomplishment, and so glad that we could have Coach Janoko come on and join us on the bus on the way home. It sounded like they were jamming out to a little Leonard Skinner on their way back. So.
Yeah, that's definitely. It sounds like the team morale's probably pretty good. I was talking to, as I said with him, Clearfield definitely lost a lot of big talented players, and a lot of them actually went on to play college this year. So like, he's been blessed with a lot of good teams in his career, and there's definitely a reason why he has that 300 on under his belt.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it was good. I'm glad that we got him on, and I'd say at this point in time, I think we could probably start wrapping the show up. So one more time, I guess we'll just go through the scores for everyone in case you're missing it. District 9. Oh, actually, we'll go Thursday's game. So in Thursday's games, we had Cathedral Prep 22, Clarkson North 17, Lakeview 35, Sagerstown 15, Oil City 55, Corey 6, Girard 31, Northeast 14. Those were our Thursday games. District 9 from tonight, Kerwinsville 36, Juniata 15, Juniata Valley 15, Elk County Catholic 15, Montauk 6, Punxsutawney 37, Kane 16, Red Bank Valley 25, Karn City 15, Keystone 43, Union AC Valley 7, St. Mary's 27, Ridgeway 6, Coudersport 38, Bradford 27, DuBois 27, Brockway 26, Tyrone 30, Brookville 0, Smethport 22, Cameron County 6, Central Clarion 29, Port Allegheny 24, Clearfield 7, Bald Eagle Area 3, Eisenhower, District 10. This is District 10 now. We'll move into that. Eisenhower 27, Cambridge Springs 14, Union City 26, Kennedy Catholic 20, Maplewood 40, Iroquois 20, Reynolds 47, Mercer 0, Slippery Rock 38, Mercyhurst Prep 24, Grove City 42, Northwestern 7, Seneca 34, I'm going to mess that up. Conneaut. I'm going to have to say that a couple times or start writing it on the board like they made you do in elementary school if you mess something up. Conneaut 6, Wilmington 14, Greenville 7, Hickory 62, Franklin 3, Sharon 42, Warren nothing, Sharpsville 40, Titusville 14, Meadville 21, Butler 14, Fairview 34, Harbor Creek 15, General McLean 18, Fort LaBeouf 7, St. Joseph, New York 30, Erie 7, and in overtime, McDowell 34, Bennett, New York 28. Those are our final scores from Thursday and Friday. And then tomorrow we have a District 9 game between Otto Eldred at Sheffield at 1:30. And we will wrap up week 2 with Ursuline, Ohio at Farrell at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that'll put a wrap on this week. And just taking a peek at next week's schedule, definitely some intriguing games on the schedule. Red Bank Valley at Punxsutawney over in District 9. I think definitely has some intrigue there. And in District 10, taking a look at some of the games scheduled, Meadville and Fairview, interesting game there between those two teams, just to see how the Tigers match up against the Bulldogs there. And Greenville and Slippery Rock, again, another test for the Rockets, just again, a team that's got high expectations coming in and has a chance to test themselves one more time.
Yeah, for sure. And, we'll be back again next week for week 3. So we'll kind of wrap this up here. Close out with some nice night driving music that a lot of the people on the bus were probably listening to. Well, not Clearfield, as they were listening to some Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner. But, this was our Generational Wealth Management Extra Points post-game show. Thanks for joining on late with us tonight, Brian. Shout out Andy, who was in a gas station parking lot to join the show. Thanks to all the guests that we had on tonight, and I definitely want to give a big shout out to Generational Wealth Management, Warren County Visitors Bureau, and Pizza Hut of Clearfield, Clarion, Brookville, DuBois, St. Mary's, Grove City. Any last plugs you want to add in, Brian?
Yeah, just a big shout out to all of our sponsors, and again, all the guests for coming on. Feel free, guys, to reach out to any players, coaches that are checking out the show. After your games next week, hit us up. Come to our social pages. Let us know you're ready and willing to come on, and we'll do our best to get everybody on. And again, special thanks to Clearfield coach Tim Janocco for hopping on the bus with us tonight, celebrating win number 300.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who's sticking with us and watched the show the whole way through. If you watched the whole show, you're a trooper. Thanks for joining us. Like Brian was saying, you know where to find us. I mean, this is streaming on the D910 Sports Facebook page, my JP Graphics Facebook page, the Your Daily Local Facebook page, the D910 YouTube page. Where to find us for everything. And I think a lot of the D9 guys know where to find me on Instagram. I mean, you can even ask some of the guys that were on the show how easy it is to join. Like, it's just a simple link. We'd love to have you guys on. The more people you have on, the less you have to hear us talk about the scores and stuff. And I think the main point of the show is to get all the kids some exposure out there. So if you're a coach, player who's listening to this, watching this, rewatching this, re-listening to it, don't be afraid to reach out. We would love to get you on the show. It's not like we're going to say no. It's going to be more like, all right, yeah, we'll get you on. Like, absolutely. Our goal here is to eventually have enough people lined up where we can just go from one player to the next player. And I think we had a really good week too. I think the show's starting to catch on. I know I think a lot of people were talking about that, and hopefully, moving forward, this is going to get pretty big come towards the end of the season.
Yeah. And again, if you're one of those folks who's been with us for the entire hour plus, tell your friends. Spread the word, share the show on your social media feeds as well, and let people know that we're here, what we're doing, and if they want to be a part of it, to go ahead and reach out, and we'll do our best to get everybody on.
Yeah, plus I know there's a lot of teams that have a long drive home from some of their games. I know Chris said he had like a 2-hour drive, an hour 45-minute drive home. So if you're on the road and have enough service to do so, there's definitely a post-game show where you.
That is the key in rural northwestern Pennsylvania, is do you have enough service?
Yeah. But as always, I'm your host, JB Graphics, or Jared, or Bakaisa, whatever you want to call me, whatever you want to do, whatever floats the boat on there. I have JB and at JB Graphics, the Instagram, Twitter handle. You can find it on Facebook because that's where we're streaming it right now. So if you're watching on the JB Graphics Facebook page, share this, get your friends to follow the page, that definitely participate in some of the graphics that I posted today. We started doing a over-under for some players, and as the season goes on, we'll have some more stats to definitely make the over-unders a lot more interesting moving forward. But I know I'll be back Wednesday night for the JB Graphics download. Last week we had 2 kids from Clearfield. I'm not sure who we're going to have this week yet, so that's kind of to be determined. Thanks to Tom Wagner. He's a dedicated listener to this. I think he listened to it last week also, and he listened to the JB Graphics download that will be airing on Wednesday night at 9:30-ish range. All right, so like I said, as always, I'm Jared, or JB Graphics, or however you want to call it, and this was the Generational Wealth Management Extra Points post-game show. Thanks for listening, everyone.